experience. It's the teacher of all things. Its lessons propel you forward to overcome obstacles and learn how far you can go. It's what makes you, you. And it's at the heart of every Macquarie University degree. It means you can combine virtual and on-campus learning and personalise your degree. With courses co-created by industry leaders and degrees with inbuilt internships, you learn directly from those with experience. When you're powered by our collective, you get the experience you need to get ahead. You become more than just you. You become you to the power of us. Macquarie University.
And welcome. Welcome to this afternoon's graduation. It's great having you here and so many people. It's a very special occasion for graduands on my right, but for parents and friends and cousins and uncles and aunts and brothers and sisters that have come along to support you and share in this great occasion. A few things to run through first. Please make sure all mobile phones have been turned to silent. I appreciate that. You're welcome to take photographs, but we ask that you don't stand and impede the view of people behind. We also ask that you don't stand in the centre aisle nor approach the stage at any time. If we need to evacuate for whatever reason, please follow the directions of security staff. We haven't had to do it so far, so let's keep our fingers crossed, shall we? If you've left things in the cloakroom, make sure you collect those at the end of the ceremony. Today's ceremony, or this afternoon's ceremony, all of our ceremonies have been broadcast live on Macquarie University's YouTube channel. And that's beamed all over Australia, of course, but the world as well. Not always parents can come from overseas to participate and share in the good fortune of their son, or a child makes them too young, doesn't it? But they're children, and it's good that they are able to do that. The feedback from people overseas has been really, really good, and they really appreciate the opportunity. Graduands, if you've ordered plaques or frames, please collect those at the end of the ceremony. They're around the side. And you can also order them if you haven't pre-ordered them. There's also facilities for purchasing online high-definition copies of today's ceremony. There's a place out there where you can do that, and you hand over your money and they'll send it to you by email, basically. And it'll most likely be in your inbox when you get home. They're quite quick about that. There's also facilities for portraits, individual portraits or family portraits. They're at the back in a special room behind the stage, but you have to go outside to get there. And some of you may have been there, but it's basically where all the photographs are, down the side there. That's about it. Anyone think of anything else I should be saying? I always forget something. I'll think about it tonight when I'm in bed, probably. I need to talk to graduands now. Graduands. Emphasis on the word graduands. because that's what you are at this stage of the ceremony. You become graduates later, okay? Welcome and well done. My sincere congratulations to you. You have worked hard, I know you have. Well, one, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't have qualified for a degree if you hadn't worked hard. It's something that just doesn't happen. It'd be great if it happened. Click of the fingers and you've got a degree. It doesn't work, does it? So you know the hard labour that you've put in. Okay, what's the process for the day? The official party will enter the hall through the centre aisle. They'll take their positions on stage. You'll be asked to stand for that procedure. While you're still standing, the national anthem will be played, and we ask that you remove your boaters. They're the hard ones. Trenches, boaters, mortarboards, whatever you want to call them. Remove them for the national anthem. At the conclusion, put them back on. Tassel on your left. Okay? You'll all sit down. The acting registrar will introduce the presiding officer. He'll speak to you from that lectern. When he's finished, I think it's a he, I think it might be the Pro-Chancellor, address you. Then he will introduce the occasional speaker. Now, occasional speakers appear at graduations. Normally and everywhere else they're guest speakers. And that's basically what this person is. So they'll address you and it'll relate to the field, I think, that you are in. All right, at the conclusion of that, did I say there'll be a welcome to country? I don't think I did. Before everything starts, there's a welcome to country from Uncle Chris Tobin, and he will address you from this lectern. Now becomes the special part for you folk. You'll be asked to stand. The presiding officer will seek assurances from the acting registrar who will be at that lectern and to confirm that you have satisfied all the requirements for the award of your degree. And I'm guessing that you have. Okay? You wouldn't be here, would you, really? It's a silly thing to say, but it's a formality. Okay? So the acting registrar will confirm that you have satisfied all the requirements. Then the presiding officer will confer your degrees upon you, and you change from graduands to graduates. Now, there are some master's degrees here. I'm sure you've graduated somewhere else, if not here. And if not here, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's one of those, you had the opportunity and you've chosen somewhere else. You should have chosen here. But I'm being silly, flippant, aren't I? Congratulations and well done. So your degrees will be conferred upon you and you become graduates. You'll be asked to sit. Someone from the back row, someone from the back row. An usher will collect the back row, take you around the back, where you will receive one of these. I have your name in there. This contains your testament and your academic transcript. Now, all of you have a mobile phone. True? You probably wouldn't have got in the hall if you didn't. Well, some of you may have had a piece of paper. Bring your phones with you. Emphasise, don't leave anything on the seats. Okay? If you have a pocket to put the phone in, all well and good. Please do it. If you don't, that's okay. We can accommodate. We won't hold them for you around there. We're not a company that keeps phones and looks after phones. We just don't do it. We're not a cloakroom. That's out there. Bring it with you. what we do is we put it in your hand, there, like that, and we put that in front, and you hold it like that. Okay? You walk up a ramp, that side, behind that opening, next to that opening. Somebody up there will check your name, okay? And some of the presenting officers like to read your name, and hopefully you're not too far away. So we ask you to stand in a certain spot over there. And they can turn around, read your name, but more importantly, they can turn around and see that someone is there, okay? It'd look a bit strange if they read a name and there was no one there. So they will turn around and see you there. They will read your name. Now, do you have the Masters of Research? No. Okay, but you have master's degrees. Right, so the presenting officer will read your name, then acknowledge you by touching the side of their trencher. We ask you to reciprocate, do the same thing. Okay, just do that and a bit of a nod. Then you walk across to here, where the presiding officer will be for your photograph. Now, if you come across here, you get to here and you say, oh, dear, I forgot to do that. Don't worry, you don't have to go back and have another go. Just keep walking across till you get to this point where the presiding officer is. Presiding officer will shake your hand. Now, the photograph taken is your official photograph. Right? You don't get another chance. So make it the best photograph that's ever been taken. Okay? Smile. Okay? Make sure you're smiling. And why I emphasise this is when you go out the back, on the wall is a collection of the photographs taken here today and now. They'll be there when you leave. They're very good at doing this. If you go and look at your photograph and you say, oh, I don't like that, you can't come back and have another go. Okay? It's a one-off only. So I emphasise, at least smile and make it look as though you're enjoying yourself. You leave the stage this way. Okay? Not down the centre aisle, this way, and out that opening. Not over the edge here, as some want to do. We had happened a couple of years ago, and I think one of them was a young lady with high heels on. Fortunately, there was no accidents, no damage done to her body or to her shoes, fortunately. Now, it happened this week, after being told not to go that way, but to go that way. They still wanted to jump over the edge. So, you know, these are people with degrees. It makes you wonder. Anyway, go out that way, please. Down a ramp, back to the row from which you came. Now, it's highly likely, and probably more than highly likely, that you won't be in the same seat. Okay? So what we ask you is when you come to the row, keep walking along and fill up the next available seat. Okay? Otherwise, if you're trying to sit in the same seat you're in now, you'll be climbing over everybody's knees to get to the end point there. So virtually what happens is that everything will be in reverse. So all the way along and fill up the row that way. There'll be some ushers down there to help you. Now, following that, when you're all sitting down, there's a graduate speaker. Now, we have a graduate speaker here today, don't we? Good. Thank you, sir. Well, that saves me nominating anyone that I can go, your job. No, we've got a fair dinkum graduate speaker here today. Well done. So he will come up here, address you from here. Following that, there'll be a musical interlude, and then the presiding officer will close the ceremony. You'll be asked to stand. They'll file out down the centre aisle. Graduates, as you will be then, 2 rows at a time, okay? Just to make things smoother and it's not a dribble-drabble of single file people there. You go out the centre aisle, out the door, and family and friends can follow on after them, meet them outside and have some light refreshments. Now there's one other point I need to make. As I mentioned, you have your mobile phones with you. We ask that when you're on stage, there be no selfies. Okay? No selfies on stage. As many as you like outside, of course, and then you can post them on whatever you post them on. So I'll say again, congratulations. Enjoy today. It's a must occasion in your education, I guess, is probably for want of a better word. So, well done. Thank you.
Congratulations on your graduation, the start of a bright future, a future that Macquarie University wants to share with you. As a graduate, you are now part of our alumni community, a vast connected network that spans the globe, with thought leadership and networking events, locally and around the world, where you can connect with other alumni, find a future employer or employee. Also, as part of the alumni community, you have access to a wide range of benefits, including special discounts, free access to the library for life, an alumni e-magazine, special events, networks, and career and professional development opportunities. We celebrate and champion our graduate stories and achievements, so stay connected and stay informed. Graduation is an amazing milestone and one step on a lifelong partnership with Macquarie. That's you to the power of us. Stay connected by letting us know where your journey takes you. Simply update your details at mq.edu.au/alumni.
Shortly, the official party will enter the graduation hall. When they've taken their positions on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we invite you to join in the singing of the national anthem. Could you please stand for the academic procession if you are able?
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free, with golden soil and wealth for toil. Our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, I would like to invite Uncle Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional acknowledgement of country.
Thank you. Warimi Midiga. Hello friends and Nalawa. Welcome. Just got to find my page now. Thank you. I wish to begin by acknowledging that we gather here today in Wallamata, the traditional country of the Darug people and the ancestral clan lands of the Wallamedigal. I wish to pay my respects to those that went before us, our elders and our ancestors, and to thank the university for the invitation to come and join you in the acknowledgement of country. For me, it's one of the encouraging and beautiful features of contemporary Australia, where we get to pay our respects to Aboriginal Australia and also affirm ourselves as a nation or a community that cares about what is right and works together in a common purpose, which is the social and environmental healing of our country. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman from the neighbouring Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulungai, or Maria as she's known, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and eventually secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, seeking refuge there during the brutal displacement of Aboriginal people throughout the 1800s. And the place became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in more traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community. And you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can work quite beautifully when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly live well in many respects like that, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 250 years ago, he described the people he encountered as one of the happiest people he'd met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They were naked, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and fed their families from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no armies, no homelessness. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained in their natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here at Wallamata for the past 20,000 years. So please consider that's not an ideal or a dream yet to be realised. That is normal life for us and for the longest time, and not that long ago. So there's really no good reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. But we're a clever people, and there is still much magic in the world, I like to believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is good, we are naturally happy, and normally very good at looking after each other and the earth. I would just ask that you share your skills with the rest of us where you can, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident we can put together a world we can be proud of, and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you. Have a wonderful day and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, I am pleased to introduce Pro-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Nick Mansfield.
Thank you very much, Chris, for that acknowledgement of country. The purpose of today's events is to celebrate the value and meaning of education, and the university is aware that it adds a huge amount of significance to the ceremony to be able to connect it with the long traditions of knowledge, education and wisdom that have been taking place on this land for many thousands of years. The acknowledgement is a great honour to the university, and we thank you very much for coming along and for your words. Colleagues, guests, families and friends of our graduands, and most importantly, all our graduands, it's my distinct honour and pleasure to welcome you here today to this graduation ceremony. I bring our graduands and their friends and guests a special greeting from the members of the Macquarie University Council, the university's governing body. It's our hope that today is a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. Now I see and hear that we have a number of small children and even maybe a baby or two here today, and I want you to know that they are especially welcome. I also want you to know that we do not expect young children to remain either still or quiet through the long course of a graduation ceremony. It's very much an event for families and friends, and children are especially welcome. Today is a milestone day. Today we celebrate the wonderful achievements of those of you about to graduate. Completing a university degree is not an easy thing. It requires an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you've made many sacrifices along the way in pursuit of your end goal. But now you have made it, and I look forward to personally congratulating each and every one of you. I also want to especially welcome the families, supporters and friends of our graduates here with us as invited guests. The fact that you've been invited by one of our graduates to share in one of the most memorable days of their lives is proof positive that you've been an important influence. So to our invited guests, congratulations to you as well, and thank you for celebrating this great occasion with us. Universities are different from schools, colleges, and other educational institutions in that they link teaching, the sharing of knowledge and ideas, with research, the discovery and formulation of new knowledge and new ways of thinking. There are very few innovations in our world, whether it be in how we're treated when we're sick, how we interact with our environment, the technologies that increasingly define our work, communication, and entertainment, how we are educated, the laws we live by, the policies our governments pursue, or the debates that define how we will live, think, and make values that are not touched by or even initiated in university research. A university education teaches you not only skills and knowledge, but gives you an awareness of how truth and new ideas develop, how they are tested, and how they are validated. Innovation is at the heart of every university, and therefore also challenge, difficulty, and the excitement that go with them. Macquarie University is at the forefront of innovation and challenge. It was at Macquarie University, for example, in work done in conjunction with the CSIRO, that the world's first working WLAN microchip, on which current Wi-Fi technology depends, was developed. A technology that most of us carry around with us all the time and that we depend on constantly, and that many of you will use to record today's events. It's this spirit of innovation we celebrate, especially in the graduation of our PhD candidates, who are being awarded the world's highest academic qualification for projects that by definition must be original, groundbreaking, and forward-thinking, no matter what the field. Everyone who's graduating today has had to confront these challenges of innovation, of new ways of thinking, and of change, a process that I'm sure has had its surprises and difficulties and confounding moments, as well as moments of anxiety, uncertainty, and stress. But graduates, you've confronted these challenges and you have won through. You have faced uncertainty and difficulty. You have been assessed against high standards, world-class standards, and you have met with success. You should be very proud of what you have accomplished. It is no small achievement. The university is certainly proud of you and what you have achieved. But we at Macquarie are also very much aware that education is not just an academic matter. It is fundamentally about people and human relationships. The university strives to be an hospitable, open and supportive environment. The friendliness, inclusiveness and approachability of Macquarie staff and students, for example, is often commented on by visitors to the university, both from around Australia and from overseas. This is an inherent part of our culture, and we intend that it will also always remain so. Remember, you will always be welcome here. Macquarie University will always be a leader in teaching and learning and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. However, our collective journey is about building community, where we have shared values and where we care about each other, even when our points of view on some issues might diverge. It's that combination of intellectual endeavour and human care that defines what a university is all about. Guests, academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly, our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University on this grand occasion. In just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. But it's now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Siobhan O'Sullivan. With over 25 years of experience spanning fintech, mortgages, logistics and retail, Siobhan O'Sullivan is a dynamic force in Australia's innovation landscape. As a consultant, she's currently leading the development of an AI skills accelerator for the Future Skills organisation, which will be critical to upskilling the vet sector in AI. Siobhan's influence extends beyond her current role. She serves as a Director Advisory Board member for Which, Banking as a Service, and Silicon Beach, Australia, the esteemed innovation community. As an innovation mentor and lecturer at the Australian Film, Television and Radio School, Siobhan shares her expertise with aspiring creators and entrepreneurs. She also contributes her insights as an education board advisor to SP Jain Global School of Management and a board advisor to BrainSTEM, shaping the future of STEM leadership. Her commitment to fostering global connections is evident in her role as an advisory board member and mentor with Enterprise Ireland, guiding Irish businesses in scaling operations across Australia. She holds an MBA from Macquarie Graduate School of Management, complemented by a diploma in project management and a Bachelor of Commerce in Human Resources Management and Industrial Relations. Additionally, her associate degree of Applied Science in Hospitality Management underscores her diverse skill set, while her black belt in Hapkido reflects her disciplined approach to challenges. I now invite Siobhan O'Sullivan to deliver the occasional address.
That's a very long introduction. I would like to begin by acknowledging the presiding officer, members of the faculty, staff, distinguished guests, graduands, and your family and friends. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional custodians on the land on which Macquarie University stands, the Wallumallagal people of the Darug Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. As a Macquarie Business School alumna, it is a distinct honour to stand here before you today. And first and foremost, congratulations, graduands. You've achieved something remarkable. Completing a degree is never easy. It takes discipline, resilience, and sacrifice. It means to me that you've learnt to say yes to assignments, yes to study, yes to group projects, even when people weren't pulling their weight. But perhaps most importantly, you've learnt the value of when to say no to distractions, excuses, and self-doubt. In short, your actions have defined your priorities. That's not only what makes you a graduate, but it's also a lifelong skill. Always remember to make the things you care about your number one priority. The truth is, I almost didn't graduate. I had spent 2 years in a hospitality degree, and I began a 12-week unpaid internship with the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in their HR team. I loved it, and at the end, they offered me a full-time role. It was really, really tempting, decent salary, and I would have been on my way. But my mind immediately went to my parents. They had come to Australia as immigrants in 1970 by boat. My mother had left school at 13, and no one in my family at this point in time had ever had the chance to go to university. My parents had sacrificed so my brothers and I could have better opportunities than they had ever had. So I turned down the offer, I finished my degree, and I became the first graduate in my family, and that decision has shaped my life. And when I consider my experience, I'm conscious that for some of the graduands in the room today, you may also be the first graduate in your life, in your family, sorry. And if that is you, I highly commend you and congratulate you. Well done. Today I'm going to take a little bit of your time and talk through 3 key pivots that I had in my life and what I learnt from them. And I hope along the way to impart some insight into the real world. My first key pivot occurred 6 months after graduating, when I realised I did not want to bring up my kids in the back of a kitchen. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't have kids at 21, but I aspired to have a family. But I also had very high aspirations to be a business owner. And I subscribed to the adage very early on in my career that success in the business does not account for failure in the home. And personally, I had lost my confidence that I could pull off the unhospitable hours of hospitality with a family. Armed with this clarity, I resigned the very next day as a maitre d' of a restaurant and began working 9 to 5 in retail, whilst I pondered my next steps. And 2 things helped me successfully pivot when I look back. Firstly, I looked for a role that would keep me in front of customers. I really strongly believe that your nature should suit your vocation. And when I thought about a career change, it was really important to me that I have the ability to apply the servant leadership mentality that I'd enjoyed so much with hospitality. What I failed to appreciate at the time was my passion for delighting customers would be a critical success factor throughout my entire career. The second key driver at 21 was my network. Now, not my network that I have today. It wasn't very big at the time. I didn't have a smartphone and there was no social channels to lean on. But in addition to my work and my study, I also was teaching martial arts, a passion which started when I was only 8. It's actually a funny story. My mother, I'm the youngest of 3 siblings, 2 older brothers, and my mother had dropped me off at a local hall to try a new thing called physical culture. Now, if anyone's wondering what that is, imagine a marching band, but take away the instruments. Needless to say, at 8, I found it quite bewildering. The entire class was spent obsessing about our posture, marching around the perimeter of a room, and it was only challenged by standing on, going onto your toes at every corner. At the end of the class, I remember walking out and thinking, the only good thing about this class is that it's directly opposite a judo centre. I remember exclaiming in a very loud voice, "Hey Mum, I want to do that, not that." She was quite disappointed. But it's been my choice ever since. From judo, I moved to kung fu at 10. I did taekwondo from 14 all through high school. And as explained, I think earlier, at 19, I started a Korean style called Hapkido, in which I hold a black belt. So at 21, I was already instructing the children's Hapkido class. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm an advocate of the servant leadership style, so I would always talk to the parents to give them feedback on how their children were going, the paying customers. And on one such night, one parent reached out to me and said, "You should apply for a role where I work, at Liverpool City Council in the HR team." Now, aside from my 3-month unpaid internship, I didn't really have many skills in HR. I didn't know what to put in my application, and I definitely knew that martial arts skills were not going to cut it. But I was very excited. When I really reflected on the opportunity, I thought about HR being the people in an organisation that work with the internal customers of any organisation, the employees. And her referral clearly secured me the interview. I remember sitting across a very large desk in a very large office from an esteemed HR director who tapped on a large file of paper applicants. It was paper in those days, guys, no seek.com. He looked me in the eye and tapped on the folder and said, "Why you? All these people have a degree and experience." Now, I admit I was shocked too. I had hoped a HR director would have been slightly more adept at interview skills. But when I realised the requisite politeness had been dispensed with and there was definitely no wooing in sight, I decided to reply with the same radical candour. Because I've got the best attitude and you can pay me the least. And if I don't show you any capability in the first 2 months, tap me on the shoulder and I'll walk out the door. I did feel the need at this point to lean forward and tap on the same folder. And I said, "Then you can get one of those qualified skilled ones." Thankfully, he had a great personality. I got the role, I got the crappy low salary, but more importantly, I was on my way. I had pivoted in my career. And as soon as I'd finished my 3-month probationary period, I enrolled at university again, this time at Western Sydney University, studying a Bachelor's of Commerce, majoring in HR and IR law. The course took me 5 years at night whilst I worked every day, and I graduated for the second time at 27. From there, I moved to Ireland to work at Guinness. I lectured at the university in Dublin, and a year later I returned and enrolled at Macquarie to do my MBA. And I graduated in this building for the 3rd time at 32. Since then, I've been an executive for nearly 20 years. I was the project manager on a $200 million warehouse for Woolworths. I've run my own business, I've been a CEO, I've scaled a fintech, and as introduced, I'm working on upskilling the vocational education sector in AI as we speak. A couple of key lessons for my first pivot. Know yourself, it is so important. And if you don't, invest the time to do so. As the great Aussie actor Tony Collette argues, you'll definitely have a better relationship with the rest of the world if you do. Number 2, in life, your attitude is the only amplifier. You might be the smartest person in the room, but if you've got a poor attitude, when it comes to employment, it's like multiplying your talent by 0. And education does not stop today. It's a life journey. My second key pivot occurred when I became a bouncer. That's right, if you thought you misheard me, you didn't. I'm talking about the day I became a person employed by a nightclub to prevent troublemakers from entering and, of course, to eject them when they are. When you look at me, it's probably not what you think. I definitely didn't look like the bouncers I saw. Most bouncers were ego-rich and conversation-poor and were more obsessed with being right than making a right decision. But my height gave me an instant advantage. At 6'3", or vertically challenged, as many have argued, I could see over the crowd without looking like I was looking. And my martial arts training had provided me with the requisite conflict management skills, shall we say, that are sometimes called upon in a nightclub environment. In short, I had found my side hustle. It all started when I was going to a bar in Sydney and I found out the bar manager was a kung fu master, and he discovered my martial arts background. We became lifelong friends. But more importantly, he offered to put me on the door if I was to secure my security license. So off I went, without hesitation. I remember walking back into the bar a couple of weeks later, brandishing my new credential, and as promised, I was working on the door the very next night. Absolutely frightened. I remember signing the roster on my very first shift, and against my name it said security/style enforcer. First key lesson, always say yes to opportunities, even if they scare you, then you can work out how to solve it. So with my security license, I end up working most weekends in my 20s. The best thing about being a bouncer is all the wonderful people that you meet. The not so good thing about being a bouncer is all the difficult people you meet. And when a customer wants to be difficult, things can quickly deteriorate. But in my experience, a female bouncer nearly always can capture someone's attention. And as a woman, no surprise, I was a minority in the security industry. But this opened up new opportunities. And I was often asked to do more advanced security work. So I invested in further training. I secured a gun license, a bus license, I completed tactical driving and bodyguard skills. And at 23, I was a private protection detail for Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Most importantly though, martial arts taught me some valuable business lessons. And it's important to clarify here that martial arts classes, everyone wears a gi. If you've not done martial arts or seen it, everyone wears a gi. Everyone is dressed the same and there's nothing to distinguish you other than the belt. The gi is a symbol of equality. There is no boy or girl, no rich or poor, and the colour of your skin or your family's wealth is not a determinant of your advancement. The only way you advance is through the demonstration of skill. So do not, in my lesson for you through that experience is do not view business through a lens of gender. Expect to be treated equally. Remember to treat others as equal and only expect advancement based on your demonstrated merit. Lesson 3, be comfortable being uncomfortable. Growth never happens when you're standing still. And of course, absolutely, lesson number 4, nurture your side hustle. My third key pivot happened when I was diagnosed with an extremely rare ovarian cancer. I was a fit 36-year-old mum, I had a 2-year-old and 9-month-old daughters, I was running my own business, and within 6 days of seeing a GP, I was suddenly grappling with the idea that I would die. I was diagnosed with a rare cancer that 60 women have had in the world in 30 years. It was only an operative solution, no treatment would work, and it had a 100% mortality rate if not found as a primary growth. Instantly, my world shrunk, and I thought about the old saying of the sea that the best way to rouse anger in a human chest is to deliver an ultimatum. Well, I had definitely had that happen. Suddenly, most things that people worry about seemed inferior, frivolous. I was singularly focused on living, and in the worst case scenario, preserving what I stood for and what I valued on video for my daughters. In short, it was one of the most difficult things I've ever lived through, but I'm really grateful for the experience. Not because I survived, of course, that's an obvious one, but because of the perspective it gave me. A couple of lessons. Life is so precious. It's short and not worth the nonsense that so many people stress about. Perspective is absolutely everything. Remember, your opinion is your opinion, your perspective is your perspective, but don't conflate either of them as being facts or truth. And lesson 3, don't allow your career to define you. There is so much more to life. So, as I finish off today, I want to acknowledge that unlike a few years ago when global economies were recovering from COVID, today's graduates face different challenges. AI and automation, which is transforming industries at lightning speed. Global competition, remote work, now means your competition and your opportunities are global from the day one. And resilience and adaptability. With economic cycles turning faster, organisations are looking for people who can pivot, reskill and reinvent themselves. So I want to encourage you to keep learning. Graduation is not the end of your education, it's the beginning of a lifelong habit. Embrace adaptability, be ready to pivot when industries change. And bring the human factor. Technology may change tasks, but it cannot replace empathy, creativity and collaboration. Those will always set you apart as a graduate. Remember, your future won't be defined by being comfortable. Fear and self-doubt will be the greatest enemies of your potential, When opportunities arise, don't listen to your internal voice saying you can't, because when you're older or gosh forbid sick, you'll always regret the opportunities you did not take. Please don't sit in a comfort zone. Nothing exciting ever happens there. And remember, we are the only animal that seeks meaning from our life. So live with passion and be curious. The wonderful thing about the game of life is that winning and losing is simply an illusion. So when it comes to your career, remember Ben Harper's lyrics when he says, make sure the fortune that you seek is the fortune that you need. Thank you and congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Sean, for that rich and inspiring message. Thank you. As Pro-Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees on those who've complied with the university's requirements for awards. I now call on Acting Registrar Dr. Belinda Tiffin to formally certify the eligibility of those who've met the university's requirements for awards.
Pro-Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand? If you're in a funny hat, that's you, please stand up.
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Pro-Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Pro-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Macquarie Business School. I now call on Professor Stephen Grover, Head of Department of Management at the Macquarie Business School, to present the graduates. Professor Grover.
Pro-Vice-Chancellor, the Macquarie Business School at Macquarie University presents the graduates of the ceremony from the Macquarie Business School. Macquarie Business School has a long history of developing leaders. Today continues that tradition as the graduates before us continue to pursue leadership as alumni members of Macquarie University. Today's graduates will be called upon to address the world's unprecedented challenges such as climate change, geopolitical turmoil, and economic inequality. These challenges have no precedence. For example, during the past few years, we've witnessed unprecedented bushfires, unprecedented floods, unprecedented pandemic. And I have every confidence that you graduates will lead us through the future challenges as you join the ranks of your predecessors to become outstanding leaders in the public and private sectors. As you celebrate today with the people who love you, you can reflect on your sacrifice and years of toil at Macquarie, portraying yourself as the hero of your story. I implore you to extend the heroic narrative throughout your life because the world needs your own best self. So when the unprecedented challenges of our world confront you, take them on to serve yourself and your community to be the hero of your own life story. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I am proud to present to you the graduates from Macquarie Business School who have been admitted to degrees. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Business Administration. Adila Abdul. Charlotte Keir. Kian Lacuna. Santosh Murugesan. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Commerce, Sasha Fadiva. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Liam Gillies. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the degree of Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting, Benjamin Sahilib. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Media and Communications and Bachelor of Business Administration, Caitlin Witten. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business, Vanessa Angelo. Sarada Banjara. Kavork Kashishian. Raya Maisha Khan. Zhang Yu Yi. Dam Kim Quy Nguyen. Theodora Austranai. Evram Sendler. Valentina Uribe Aristobal. Nyak Han Vo. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration, Arsalan Afrida. Pearl Agarwal. Shabazz Ali Shaif. Christabella Azi. Hamiu Bambawala. Charlotte Brand. Kiara Brightwell Chatham. Andrea Buaco. Brendan Caltran. Jason Cheong. Yun Cho. Kennedy Cooper. Yafai Dai. Kim Lem Dao. T Tui Trang Dong. Joan Dubash. Angelina Felicia. Oliver Ferris. Katie Fitzgerald. Lucas Foote. Zach Freeman. Damian Frey. Benjamin Grieve. Melshi Harthusingi. Heidi Hutte. Ho Dui Hyun Hua. Si Hin Huang. Kayana Ilyas. Chetna Jangra. Isabella Zhong. Toho Chung Kampi Prapankul. Ta Hien Kim. Judith Labib. Duc Hui Li. Zhang Min Li. Shangshuan Yi. Shenyu Lian. Cheng Liang. Thu De Lin. Tracy Liu. Sare Louisa Galindo. Eva Manglis. Charun Merigu. Akatet Mindine. Anna Montana. George Moore. Venkat Shri Ram Charan Moturi. Sienna Musali. Anahita Nabipur. Andrew Nathaniel. Muhammad Noman Naeem. Josh Nelson. Claire Nguyen. Win An Nguyen. Trong Long Nguyen. Valentina Nguyen. Lauren Nicholson Reed. Mata Nikpayam. Iti nutas. Laura O'Sullivan. Thomas Portelli. Tiani Chi. Rakesh Raghunathan. Liba Rahat. That's her father on the stage. He's the head of the Department of Accounting. Kay Wren. Jaron Roshni. Polina Skleava. Mitchell Simpson. Karnika Singh. Yuvraj Singh. Maximilian Merlin Surster. Vanessa Suarez. Amag Shamsher Thapa. Shinya Wong. Yanran Wong. Mitchell Ryan Wee. Portia Werner. Xinyue Xu. Hong Xuan Yi. Kai Xin Yin. Kan Xin Zhou. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Luke Stone. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce and Master of International Business, Lachlan Chu. Ayan Ingala. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of International Business and Masters of International Relations, Iris Hernandez Rodriguez. I present the graduate submitted to the degree of Master of International Business and Master of Management, Garya Vyashi. I present the graduate submitted to the degree of Global Master of Business Administration, Antonio Catalina. Recipient of the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence, Deidre Dowling. Michael Evangelidis. Cody Everson McCarthy. Kalani Fisher. Elizabeth Freeth. Jawantha Madusha Galiarashi. Azada Haji, no, Azadi Hashini. Sheila He. Alicia Hugh. Sally Ann Nicholas. No? Try that again. Madison Larder. Sally Ann Nicholas. Rania Parapil. Recipient of the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence, Melissa Piro. Jonathan Stark. Abir Adnan Tariq. Margarita Thimi. Simone Tregigo. Berenice Westmore. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Business Administration. Robert Justin Casantusan Alvarez. Ian Bennett. James Bogue. Bernie Chiang. Selena Teresa Chua. Colin Christofuli. Rodney Fitzgerald. Laura Giel. Alexander Hagelman. Esther May Holloway. William Junis. Sumit Kandalia. Harshan Bandan Kupali. Andrew Kwong. Juan Enrique Gustavo Lepke Hurtado. Joseph McCullough. Jason McLean. Indrajit Sunjay Mamane. T. Hong Han Nguyen. Tim Papadopoulos. Dvaj Patel. Tongdan Di Pham. Priyanka Ravi. Jose Mari Reyes. Emil Reza. Jatin Singhal. Thin So. Roderick Sogiarto. Shrikant Srivalasam. Joyce Elizabeth Thomas Stanley. Ukila Sundaraj. Manu Trivedi. Karthik Vetravulu. Richard John Ward. Hey Shun Jackie Yim. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of International Business, Ashin Ajay. Thanyawat Barnyam. Akhil Chundran. Diptapal Chatterjee. Tanya Dingra. Vishvajith Danash Narmantha. Caroline Lisa Fernandez. Arif Hassan. Sakshi Suraj Nakwavar. Bilayan Saha. Jatin Sharma. Hoa Ting Tang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Management, Asif Jamal. Billy David. Pro-Vice-Chancellor, that completes this afternoon's presentation of the graduates from the Macquarie Business School.
Pro-Chancellor, I now call on Gustavo Lembecki Oberto, who graduated with a Master of Business Administration, to speak on behalf of the graduating group.
Thank you. Well, first, I want to start with a round of applause for you guys. Well deserved. Well, we start again. Pro-Chancellor, member of the university, fellow graduates and guests. 2 years ago, our MBA cohort took his first photo together. In that picture, we looked confident, smiling, as everything was fine. But the truth is, we were nervous, a little lost, not really what knowing and what was coming. We were strangers just starting our journey. For me, at 35, leaving Peru to start again in Australia was a beautiful madness. It was excited, yes, definitely, but also afraid. Afraid of not understanding, afraid of not being good enough, afraid of failing in public. Today, I smile when I remember those fears, because it was inside those fears that the real learning began. With time, these strangers, from that first photo, became family. I was lucky to share this journey with Joyce and Nguyen, Joyce, Stanley, Selena, Alex, Robert, and Jatin, who were there in the long days and the short nights, who were in the cafes and the debates, where sometimes we argued too much, but always with respect and affection. They made this journey worth it. And behind those nights and those debates was also the whole class. Each one giving something special and pushing us a little bit further than we thought. And of course, I cannot forget our professors. Alison, thanks for the opportunity. Oh, sorry, Alison. Thanks, Alison, for your feedback. It was really good for me. Nitida, thanks for the opportunity. Also Maros, Roger, as always. And finally, Ralph. They gave us more than theory. They show how leadership works. That leadership is not only about knowing everything, but about listening. Listening with humility. Humor makes the heavy days lighter, and curiosity keeps us alive. I don't see them only as professors. I see mentors and even friends. A few weeks ago, we took our last photo. Not everyone is in it. Like Anthony, who was part of this journey and who we always feel present in our classes. But the feeling was different. We were the same people, yes, but no longer pretended to be confident on that first morning. In that last photo, there was tiredness, a few wrinkles, and gray hair, but also complicity, trust, and affection. From Macquarie, I take more than a degree. I take the memory of long nights and the words of Flavia, who was always my spark to keep me moving forward. I take the laughter that came exactly when frustration felt too heavy. And I take the deeper lesson of this MBA. that knowledge and tools always matter, but what matters most is how we use them. But if we use with integrity and with responsibility, we are doing well, and with the purpose of creating value that goes beyond ourselves. To my family, who are they? To the professors, to the staff, and to my cohort, thank you. Thank you for being part of this adventure, and more on that, for being part of this family that we celebrate today. We finished this journey like in that first photo, together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gustavo, for sharing those thoughts and feelings and experiences with us, and congratulations again. Thank you. That was Angela Brewer. Angela is also the founder and artistic director of Coast Opera Australia. Will you please join me again in thanking her for that superb performance? Please also join me in thanking our musicians this afternoon. On the organ, Heather Moen-Boyd. And on the trumpet, Melanie McLaughlin. I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank representatives from our alumni community who've generously offered their time to ensure the day runs smoothly and to help us celebrate the occasion. And finally, please join me in thanking our technical staff who ensure that the proceedings can be seen and heard, not just for all of us here today in the hall, but for those watching the event around the world on live stream. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it certainly does not represent the end of your association with us. From today on, you're now part of the bigger Macquarie family. Our alumni network, which has over 243,000 members living in over 150 countries, now welcomes you to its fold. We look forward to seeing you back on campus, to attend alumni events, to undertake further study, or simply to visit our beautiful surrounds and reminisce about the good times you had here as a Macquarie University student. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also carries responsibilities. We urge you to commit to lifelong learning and inquiry. We urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. We urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you this far. And remember, the world isn't only changed by the great leaps forward of an Albert Einstein or a Marie Curie, but by the many contributions, small and large, of people just like you. At Macquarie, we pride ourselves on developing each and every one of our students into engaged community citizens and leaders. So we urge you to always give thought to what you can do for others along the way. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a real difference in someone's life. Sometimes a small gesture or a kind word can mean an enormous amount. We challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. Our hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you've learned here, not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of our communities. And in all you do, we charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. It's also our hope that you always remember the people who've helped you along the way, many of whom are here with us in the hall this afternoon. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, would all our new graduates please stand? Now, place your testamers on the seats behind you, turn around to face your families and friends, and now it's time to give them a mighty round of applause. Okay, you can turn around now, but please don't sit down. With me on the dais here are representatives of our academic staff who've supported and led you throughout your journey, so please join me in thanking them. Graduates, please remain standing, but do pick up your testamers. We don't want you to leave them behind. The official party is about to leave the graduation hall, followed by the graduates in procession. As we do, our organist will play the traditional recessional music of graduation, which has been played at ceremonies just like this one over many centuries. There's an age-old set of Latin lyrics to this music, which begins, Gaudiemos igitur dum sumus juvenes. Translation, this graduation exit song starts out, therefore let us rejoice, for we will always be young. The song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and old age at the same time, of the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of the state and of the city and of happiness. So again, to our newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and very best wishes for futures filled with success, satisfaction, and above all, with happiness. Now might I ask everyone to please stand. The official party is about to leave, followed by the graduates, and I then invite you all to follow our graduates out of the hall to enjoy some light refreshments on the dais behind the building. In closing today's wonderful celebration of your achievements, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, therefore let us rejoice.